Well, it looks like there's a new article out, and it's about Carmelo Anthony's lawyer slash mouthpiece slash lead fundraiser having an unhinged meltdown in a 13-minute rant he uploaded that apparently he thought was going to go very well. And then, on top of that, he decided that he would celebrate Carmelo Anthony's birthday and graduation by demanding more money. Look, I know this story is kind of morphing into yesterday's news. That's what the mainstream media wants. They never wanted to cover this story in the first place because it never fit their narrative. But if you enjoy me staying on top of the story, make sure you leave a like on this video. And if you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. It would be immensely helpful. Certainly these videos, YouTube doesn't exactly want these videos out there, and other platforms. So I hope that you'll support it. Let's go with first the bizarre unhinged rant. Mouthpiece, quote, minister for teen at the heart of, the case, defends his own criminal past in 13-minute rant. The man who's become the spokesman for the Texas teen Carmelo Anthony is now defending his own previous run-ins for the law, which I believe one of them included a doctor calling the police on him because an infant had a brain bleed. To me, it's very, very odd. In an unhinged, nearly 13-minute video rant, Anthony's representative, Dominique Alexander, 36, complained he's become the target of online attacks, dredging up his rap sheet, which includes a felony conviction. Anthony, 17, has also been charged. We all know what happened there. Anthony, who initially fled the track meet after the incident, later told the arresting officers that he in fact did do it, and he was taken into custody. Also, there are reports of him being suspended for other fighting incidents at the school that the media seemingly isn't reporting either. Now, of course, he's claiming self-defense. Anthony has not been indicted yet. It's criminal history of his advisor, Alexander, who's taken center stage as the case becomes a national flashpoint about race and black privilege. These cases are old as heck. Alexander told the DailyMail.com in a phone interview on Tuesday. Did you just post an article from 2015 and you're literally holding this up like you got a golden ticket? It's laughable to anybody in North Texas. The activist's many arrests are well known in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Long before he attached himself to this high-profile Metcalf Anthony case, Alexander had inserted himself into other high-profile cases about race or police doing their jobs in the Metroplex, hosting the BLM March where 7 Dallas police officers were ambushed. Were ambushed and defended themselves against a black person who was not taking part in the march. I'm not really sure exactly what that was going on there. Not familiar with the case. Alexander has been well known in the black community in Dallas for over a decade and has been acting as a spokesperson for the embattled Anthony. Anthony and Metcalf were attending. We already know what happened there. We're not going to rehash that just so they can get more words per article. Under Alexander's advice, the Anthony family has gone public to talk about the mean words people are saying to them, hosting a press conference April 17th to talk about their hardships of their son, who took the life of another boy. Metcalf's father, of course, we know, famously crashed that press conference while claiming he wanted to set the record straight as to why Metcalf's father was being kicked out. Anthony spent most of his Monday night video posted to X talking about himself and other attacks on him. Your attacks towards me only do one thing: boost my ego. The co-founder of Dallas's Next Generation Action Network railed in a Twitter clip. Many people have talked about his nonprofit organization too as being highly suspect. At the end of the day, I was the most talked about individual over the course of 10 years. So trying to use a moment to come out and say stuff about my background that I've never hidden, the convicted felon declared.
Y'all, we wanted to take this moment
let me go
to be
to
able to educate
let me see if I can
people
play a
on
little
what
bit of
went
this.
on during our press conference that we held here. And your attacks towards me only do one thing: boost my ego, right? The reality is I really, quite frankly, don't give a damn, right? So I just want you to truly understand that. So you attacking my post, you saying my name, you tagging me, you doing all this, that's really not going to help your cause, because I'm tried, tested, and proven, y'all. I've been doing this over 10 years. Yet saying things about me, man, you're going to waste your time, your speak, your everything. Putting 45 minutes on Instagram or whatever you want to do to say that Dominique Alexander is the Antichrist. I wouldn't give two cahoots, right? Because
Except you do. You've been melting down online about everybody bringing up the fact that your baby or somebody else's baby you're supposed to watch ended up in the hospital. Remember that? Remember that? And then the hospital called the police on you?
you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. And yet trying to post my background or whatever it is. Let me say this real quick. I'm the first person to tell my own testimony. Nobody have to tell it for me. At the end of the day, I was the most talked about individual over the course of 10 years, right? So trying to use a moment to yet come out and say stuff about my background that I've never hidden. Maybe y'all should do some research to see when my background was actually released. Maybe you should do a research and see how many times on social media I post my mug shots. You ain't got to tell that story. At the end of the day, there's more mug shots than what you actually posted, right? Let me make that very clear. So
is that are you flexing? I'm not. I'm not. This is very, very odd. So are you saying, okay, you've been arrested more times, and so people should? This guy is totally unhinged.
Keep on digging. Do whatever you want to do. Just keep on saying it, whatever it may be. But it's not about that. At the end of the day, when we were trying to secure this facility and secure the press conference, I asked we didn't look at everybody. We didn't know, y'all. But also his safety too as well. We don't know what we don't know.
We've seen parts of this video for sure. You know, we've seen parts of this before. Why am I saying before? Maybe because I just keep listening to this guy who can't speak English either. As things wind down, we're getting more stuff, you know, like if Karmelo Anthony didn't wake up and to how much the system fundamentally hates white people, nothing will. You see Kira Henderson, the principal of the school. The graduation, I believe, is this week. So he's going to be allowed to graduate, obviously, because, reasons, because they didn't want to have a bunch of people from the Next Generation Action Network storming the school, apparently. By the way, this guy's meltdown hasn't stopped. Here he posted this on Twitter begging for more money. Today, Karmelo Anthony turns 18. But it isn't just a celebration of another year. It's a moment of reflection on the injustice, double standards, and pain this young black man has had to endure far too early in life. Yo, he took someone else's life. What is he even talking about? What? He's had to endure. He took someone's life. Karmelo should be celebrating the final stretch of his senior year, prom and graduation, preparing for the next chapter of his life. Instead, he's facing a legal system that has historically failed young black men, fueled by media spin, hate-filled attacks, and political pressure that ignores due process. Yo, he took someone's life! And you're painting him as a victim? This is the wildest stuff I've ever seen. Look, take your money, build your defense. I have always maintained you deserve your day, and he deserves his day in court just like anyone else. It's going to be hard to overcome that self-defense thing you're going to try and paint now that you said, now that he openly admitted it and said that he did it. Karmelo should be celebrating the final stretch. Double standards are on full display. From the treatment of this case in the courts to the harassment of his family he has faced on their home, it's clear if we don't stand together, the system will tear our children. No mention whatsoever about, him taking this other kid's life. None. No mention of that whatsoever. So if you hear my dog whining, one of my female dog is in heat, and he's in full on let me at it mode, we'll say. But we believe in community. We believe in injustice. We believe in standing up to what the world tells us. Hucky, you're okay, bud. What he really believes in is cashing in. So today, on Carmelo Anthony's 18th birthday, we're asking you to give something meaningful. Donate $18 to his official defense and support family support fund. This will be a long process, and we need every ounce of support from our people. This guy is literally saying, but it's a double standard. It's a double standard for whatever. It's not fair that people are making this about race, but he's completely race grifting. He's completely race grifting and demanding money. Let's show Karmelo that we got his back, not just with hashtags, but give us more money. And then he links to, I'm sure, let's see if we got any $18 donations. I don't see any. So not one person that saw this tweet donated money. Oh, here's one. One person gave $18. By the way, his fundraiser is now up to $531,000. Let's look at some of the responses here. A teenager is dead, and instead of showing even a sliver of remorse or respect for the life lost, the so-called minister turns the evil guy's birthday into a marketing campaign. Absolutely disgusting. People saying, is this a real post? You know who else should be celebrating their graduation prom and preparing for his future? Say it with me now. Austin Metcalf. In my opinion, Carmelo's a cold-blooded criminal. Hope he's convicted and sent to prison. I mean, Lamau, he'd be having the time of his life enjoying his 18th birthday if he hadn't taken another young man's life. Donate here so I can get money for my fraudulent organization. Dude, there is no double standard here. He took another kid's life. He even admitted it. I mean, the comments are absolutely shredding this dude. You're talking to somebody who knows the tape is about to drop, proving that Karmelo is an evil person. Again, it's so, who brings a knife to a trackmate? A premeditated crime committer. You know what I mean? Has he started his Kegel exercises? His legal defense team, by the way, is working pro bono, so he doesn't even have to worry about a defense fund. You're just raising money so he can buy another car. The whole thing is absolutely pathetic. I'm going to have to put my dog in another room. He can't handle it. He's melting down. I'm going to have to go run him outside here and get some of this energy out of him. I hope you enjoyed this video or were at least informed by it. If you were, please do leave a like on it if you haven't yet. Subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.